Okay, what's up, guys? In today's video, for the first time, we're facing a titled player, National Master Enrique Buti Buddy from Paraguay. And if you look at the graph, it was an even game up until we got into the end game. I had 30 seconds left, and I just made a wrong pawn push. But I don't even count that um, because 30 seconds, I know I can't play chess. So even with 15 minutes, I can't play chess. I need an hour. Um, but either way, getting into playing a whole game with a national master and having to get into the end game for him to beat you, I'll take that, especially considering I know absolutely nothing about the opening. So I play 1d4 and he plays knight f6. I play c4, queen's gambit, um, but he plays e6. He can be going for Nimzo or a bunch of things. I go knight f3, not putting a knight here for him to pin. And then he goes b6. So he's playing like a Queen's Indian defense, but I don't know anything about it. I figure why not develop this bishop and pin this knight. Sometimes I keep it inside the pawn chain, sometimes I put it outside the pawn chain. He fianchettos his light square bishop. I develop my knight, makes sense. He develops his bishop and unpins the knight, and he's ready to castle. I now play e3, and my development looks very natural and normal. He jumps his knight into the center. It's saying that this is the last book move. Okay, I guess. I don't know. It's bishop takes e7 is in the master games. Anyway, I take his bishop because it's hit 3 times, so I have to do something. I take the bishop. He takes back. Right. Now I develop my bishop and I prepare castling. And this bishop also defends this knight in some lines. So he takes here, I have to recapture back with the pawn. So now he has this to play against, the C and the C pawns. He castles, I castle. Everything's fine for both sides, everything's solid. He develops his last piece, and I move my queen. Now we both have our rooks connected. My queen helps support the center. He moves his knight to the side, starting to put pressure on this pawn. He can also add more pressure like this. So that's kind of annoying. So I gotta find something to do for myself. I'm not sure what white's supposed to do. I go queen a4, defending the pawn and stopping his queen from going to a3. I figured if I just, I don't know, just random move. If he goes to h3, it just looked annoying here. I just didn't like the look of it, even though it's not threatening to win anything or go anywhere. But I just know I can't kick it without it. I can't kick it effectively unless I try to queen trade. I don't know. So I did this move. What are the options here? 92, which makes sense. Rook fd1, rook ae1. Yeah, all weird moves except for 92. I can't explain the others well. Queen to a4, looking at the knight, defending the pawn, looking at this pawn, looking at this square. He plays c5, trying to cement my weaknesses, I guess. I think it's a common move. And now again, I should go knight d2. Probably, who knows, maybe trading bishops, maybe f4. I go rook to d1, and the game is still even. It's still just normal moves. He goes d6, protecting again, removing the target. Now I finally go knight to d2, protecting this pawn a third time, opening up the bishop. He moves the bishop one square forward, hitting the queen. I have to retreat. I don't know why I had a brain lapse here, and for whatever reason, I instantly moved here because in my brain I thought it was an only square, but this is obviously an open square, and I would much rather go to c2 than a3. So this was actually a mind slip, not a mouse slip, a mind slip. Like, I don't know why I brain farted and insta moved. That was dumb. So he goes e5, and now my queen is so bad here. I don't know. It would be so much better on c2. I push past, kind of shutting down the center a little, blockading everything, hitting the bishop with tempo. I figured if I trade, then these are double isolated, so let me just push. He goes here, and now I cement the center with e4. So now he can't do anything on these files. He has to try to break down my pawn chain, so he has to go f5. You could take here, but I really don't know anything about those positions. I don't know anything about this position, but it feels more uncomfortable because it's an open position. It opens things up for him, and my queen's stuck in Timbuktu. So I played f3 to try to keep things closed, and then if the f file opens, I'll just challenge it with my rooks, was my plan. He takes, but now I don't take with the pawn. I take with the knight. And the knight's supported by the pawn, and now his rook is still stifled. I have some pressure. I kind of liked my knight there. He, of course, has to challenge the knight because you can't leave it there. And I probably should have... Oh no, the bishop's defending this, so you can't take it with a piece without losing a pawn. So I move my rook, anticipating if he takes the f file opening up. I just would rather be ready than have it on the d file. He does take, it does open up, and so things are still even. He improves his queen and threatens to infiltrate and stares at the king. I bring my queen back and challenge him. Yeah, I don't know why I was on a3 in the first place. He can trade if he wants. He can't add more pressure to this square anymore. So I like my bishop here because if he wants to move his knight, it'll take him forever. Whereas if I want to move my bishop for aggressive action, I can do it at any time. So he trades the rook with check, which is fine for him. And now if you take with the queen, he's gonna get in the rook with tempo. If you take with the king, he's gonna do the same thing. So you take with the bishop, and now there's no tempo. He doesn't trade queens. He moves to the side and hits this pawn. I activate my queen and defend the pawn. He brings his last piece into the game onto the only open file. I move this bishop out of the way, defend both pawns that are being attacked, and make room to contest his rook. He moves his rook up to an anchored square, and maybe he can put his king behind it. Who knows? He also has access now to these squares. I contest the rook on the open f file. He declines the trade and threatens to take this pawn. I simply push h3 and it stops anything he's trying to do. If he takes, I just take with the pawn. Now he's going here. This doesn't even create this threat because the queen's covering it. So this is not a threat. And I offer a queen trade, and I'm just hoping he just draws me. I'm down to 3 minutes and 42 seconds. He has 12 minutes. And again, if you look at the graph, we've just been evenly playing basically this entire time. Queen to e7. He doesn't want the queen trade. He wants to outplay me. He sees I'm low on time. It's a good decision. Now I put my queen on an anchor square, and now I'm starting to become active, and he's defending against me instead of me defending against him. This felt good. When I was in this position, I felt like I had the advantage and I had the initiative. He goes queen to e8. Best square. I guess it stops my queen check as well as the checkmating squares. So he's covered. I go bishop e2. I don't think there's anything for either of us to do, any real progress. But I lose, so yeah. Now he goes rook f6, hitting the queen, offering trades. I step to the side. I want to keep my queen active. I don't see any real reason to do anything crazy with it. I mean, it didn't have that many squares, so. He kicks it again, and I go back here, but I could have stayed active. Like, I don't see what's wrong with queen g3. But whatever, I went back, and now he trades, and now I trade. He brings his queen up. I trade. I have a minute on my clock. And now I want to bring my king into the game, but I also don't want him to play g5. I suppose. I don't know. It's tricky because he has a knight, so if we lock everything up, I guess even if he gets on an outposted square, like if this was an outpost, it might not be the end of the world, depending. It's probably defensible. But I played h4. I should have probably brought my king up, but it's okay. So again, a minute on my clock. He improves his king, and now I probably again should have brought my king up, but I played g4, just trying to control everything, and then I was gonna lock it up if possible. He tries to bring his knight back into the game. Now I bring my king up, knight back in the game. I go a4 because why not? It prevents a6 b5, and it's a move I probably will make at some point anyway. Knight to f7, getting in this, and now here I went king e3. I don't know why I went to e3 instead of g3. A little weird, but he goes knight here. He's going to reroute it here and here, which is why my king probably should be on g3. And here with 34 seconds, I made the mistake that turned it from holdable to just completely lost. And that move was, which one of these pawns? H pawn. Which, with 30 seconds, you might think, oh, this, but he can go back to where he came from and just come in this way. So it makes no sense. Let's see. King f3 and king g3. Yeah, they want you to just go back and just defend your stuff and hold it. And just go back and forth. So I gave his knight a square. Or even better, I gave his king a square. And now I'm completely lost. So one pawn move, completely lost from 5 points of difference, 4 points of difference. Now he gets his king in. Now I have nothing to do. I realize I'm lost. I have 15 seconds and I just go back and forth. I make whatever legal moves I have. And now he's completely winning. There's nothing for me to do. He's going to take it. And he's 2 passed pawns and it's over. Of course, I played for stalemate because I'm that guy. And he checkmated me. But, I mean, look at this. Hold on, let me see. Let me see what it shows. 2250, couldn't beat him. He was 2650. And not only that, but his opening, does it show? Let me make my webcam smaller. His opening, middle game, and end game are all great under the great icon. What am I supposed to do about that? So, that was a great game, actually. Yeah, but if you see how they say it's a mistake, but if you look how black takes advantage, they want to close it up. That's weird. Is it weird? I don't really know. You get a position like this, and I guess white has nowhere to play. Maybe. I don't understand it well enough. Yeah, so these double pawns are, I guess, kind of annoying to have in the game. But also, I was completely fine, so... I mean, the game can barely be criticized with bad moves, so... 2 mistakes. Alright, moral of the story, move faster against the National Master. Alright, I don't mind losing that one. I'm happy to play a titled player. I hope I play more titled players. Because they don't really make mistakes, apparently. And that's going to be interesting. So, we lose this one, but we keep on climbing to 2100.